Hi, Curtis Spearman here with Superior Cabinet Refinishing. Just wanted to take some time and explain some of the various finishes that we can do with your existing cabinetry. And kind of the first choice that you're going to have is do we want to go with a solid color like this maple door here that we've done in white, just a solid, clean, crisp, traditional white? Or do we want to keep the wood look and keep the grain and the wood feel of the cabinetry like we did on this hickory door where we just toned it a really nice natural cherry color? After we've decided which route we want to go, we can do some things to accentuate it. Like on this piece here, another nice, I think this is a cherry. We've come through and put a really nice antique white on it and came through and did some pinstripe glazing in the profiles. And same thing on this oak door here, where we came through and added some pinstripe glazing in the profiles over this oak cream door. Now we can also do the same thing with the wood look and just change the color of our toner. Like on this door, we've done a really nice cherry looking finish on it and came in here and just accentuated with some pinstripe glazing just to pronounce everything. And the same thing on this oak, where we came in through and did a nice medium brown and added in some black glazing in the profiles. From there, we can kind of step it up a notch and do some techniques with glazing. On this oak door here, we have some nice pinstripe glazing. We've went through and pronounced the raised profile or the raised panel on the door with a little bit of glaze, and then came through the body and the sides of it and did some really nice dry brushing, kind of to give it that rustic look. Now, we can take it even a step further and do something that's called a French country rub through. And you can see that on this black oak door right here. We've just taken it and used some factory coatings and turned it black. And then actually rub through the finish and round out the corners just to give it a really sharp look. And the same thing with this nice little teal door up here. We just came through and rounded out our corners. And we can also take that rub through and instead of rounding out corners, square them off, and it gives you a little bit modern feel, which I'll show you in a piece here in a second. Now, kind of along the same lines as a French country, we have a nice little cherry door here that we've toned to a nice medium brown. And we've come in and we've done something called hewing right on the corners, the interior right there, kind of alternate through the frame of the door, and just gives it a little bit of rustic look, and came back through and added in some nice natural cracks in it. Just go through and we'll highlight those with glaze so they stand out and pop. We've also added in a little bit of light chaining and some wormholing, just enough to give it some character. And along those same lines, in the French country, we can do add some cracks in, take out the chaining, but still do our hewing and come in here and really give a flat panel door some depth with some glaze and just give it a whole new look instead of just a basic frame with a flat panel door. Kind of to take up the distressing just a little bit, we have a nice oak piece here where we've come through, done the hewing on it. We've done a little bit of light wormholing, just come through, pronounced with some profile glaze, all those nice little character marks. And our next piece, we've taken a really beautiful light gray and used a graphite glaze. And we've come through and you can see where we've hewn out all our corners and even on some of the profiles just to give it a really neat look. Added some cracks in there and done some dry brushing over it and some glazing through the interior where we kind of haze out the glaze and kind of blend it in, so it just gives it another dimension when it's all said and done. This next piece here, it's kind of a mix between a French country and an old world. This was a really unique job that we did, where we came through and we actually combined a French country rub through with a really rustic, hewing and cracks and wormholes, and did some light dry brushing over top of it just to give it that aged look that you don't see unless you have your cabinets custom made, custom finished. And these next couple of pieces are really kind of range into the old world, where we really kind of go all out to make these cabinets look really distressed and really beautiful. On this one, we've used a base gray stain on the bottom and used a blue toner over top of it to kind of change the shaker door. Came through and we've done some chaining to just put some random marks in it, some hewing, add in some gouges and cracks, and it just looks absolutely beautiful. And this next piece definitely falls under the old world category, but this is my representation of a leather bomber jacket or a old Western leather saddle. And we've actually come in and we've added some crackle lacquer to give it that wrinkled look, and done some hewing, and we got a really nice gouge down here in the bottom, and just come back through and highlight that with some hazing and our glaze. Use a couple different colors of glaze to really give it that three-dimensional effect, and just really a unique looking piece. And it's about as old world as it gets. We come down here to our very last piece, where we've actually taken through, and after we lay down our base coat of white, we're going to come through and add in a couple of different colors of glaze, some darker browns, Van Dyke brown and a little lighter brown. Done some hewing, wormholing, chaining, some crackle lacquer, and actually taken a sander and just rounded out the edges so that wood underneath is peeking out below. And when it's all said and finished, we actually hand rub these with paraffin wax, so it gives it a really shellacked and old world feel, which is how they would have done cabinets that look like this. Now maybe we want to take it just a little bit different direction and something a little bit more modern. Have a couple of really nice blue pieces here. And this one's just your basic maple door, and we've actually taken this light blue and added a luminized glaze to it, which just gives it a really neat effect. When you look at it from different angles, it'll be really blue here, and then as you come and get it at a different angle, it almost looks silver. And something along the more modern lines is coming through, and I spoke to you earlier about doing a rub through where we square it off instead of rounding it like in the French country doors. And on this nice deep blue piece, we've come back through and added some really nice light gray dry brushing over top of it. So literally, if you see a kitchen on Pinterest or Houzz that you just fall in love with the cabinetry and you're like, wow, I wish my cabinets could look like that, just give us a call, because this is what we do. If you can dream it up, we can put it on your cabinets. Thank you.